Today, I'm going to be showing you guys where all the intel locations and how to get them on the Shattered Veil. And we're going to break these up by audio logs, documents, and finally artifacts, which you could use the timestamps to jump to whenever you want. And if you guys go on to find this helpful, I'd appreciate if you dropped a like and subscribe. But with that said, let's get into this guide. So let's start off with the audio logs. There's 12 in total. Now the first I'm going to show you is actually in spawn. It's going to be just past under this bridge, and if you look in this little corner here, you'll find an audio log. Next, if you go to the place where quick revive is and run up this little staircase and buy these computers, you'll find yourself another audio log. Our next one is going to be right next to Speed of Colon. If you just look at that and immediately turn around on this bench, you'll find another audio log. Next, if you go to the motor core area, which is like right before the entrance to the mansion, you'll actually be able to walk over here by all these sandbags and destruction, and you'll find it on this box slightly outside the map. Our next one is going to be just past the T-Rex. If you walk up the staircase on the right, you'll actually find it on top of this junk here. Our next one is going to be in the PhD flopper room. All you have to do is look the opposite way of where PhD Flopper is, and it'll be on this piano. The next one's going to be the backside of the mansion where these trees are, and on the second tree all the way in the back, you'll find yourself another audio log. Next is going to be kind of just past Double Tap inside the kitchen, and on the countertop you'll find another audio log. Our next one is going to be inside the library, and you just want to start to go up the staircase, and right in this corner you'll find another audio log. Our next audio log is going to be by Pack Bunch, and if you just turn around to the opposite side you'll find it on this table. Next you want to go to the service tunnel, and all the way at the end of it, by this ammo crate, you'll find another audio log on top of these barrels. And the final one is actually going to be in the armory. This is by the teleporter, if you guys don't know where it is, but you just want to use it to go in there, and right over here on top of these boxes you'll find the final audio log. Now we'll move on to the documents. There's going to be 3 in total. Now our first document requires you to have a tomahawk, and when you do, you want to go to spawn and you want to look at the wood on the floor right here and simply throw the tomahawk at it and you'll have your document. Our next document is going to be in the study area, and it's going to be right on this table near this computer. And for the final document, we need to do a side Easter egg, and this one requires you to be very peculiar and you can't mess it up or you're going to have to restart your game entirely. But it's still easy nonetheless. Now what you need to do this Easter egg is to progress to round 11, and what I recommend doing is getting down to the last zombie. And when you do that, you then want to head into the study. This is kind of just by Elemental Pop. And in the corner you'll see a grandfather clock. And what you want to do is interact with it. But you actually want to point the top of the clock to interact with it, and you'll know you interacted with it correctly when the hands start spinning. Next, you want to make your way into the Richtofen's room or the director's quarters and just get on top of the bed and lay down. And now with that last zombie you saved, you can now end the round, but make sure you do not get off the bed. Just stay here, because eventually what will happen is your screen will fade to black and then you'll wake up again. And now you'll see some footprints on the floor. Now there's multiple different paths it could take, but what you need to do is follow them. But you will also notice there are some zombies that are asleep, and you cannot wake them up. And how you wake them up is by sprinting, running into them, or shooting them. Just avoid doing those 3 things, and what I recommend doing is just crouch walking the whole way there. But eventually, at the end of this, you'll find yourself a loot crate. Now you actually can't open this just yet. There's going to be a zombie that has a key. Now how you know which one is the right one is that you'll notice above the zombie's head, they have these Z's. And all of them are white except for one. Only one of them is going to have yellow Z's, and he's always going to be somewhere near the loot box, and also be an armor zombie. Now once you found the loot box, it's okay to wake up the zombies, and you can now shoot and kill this zombie, and you'll drop the key, and you can now use that to open up the loot box, get some loot, and also get the final document. But now let's move on to the final one, and these are the artifacts, and there's going to be 9 in total. And some of these are a lot more difficult to get than other ones, but let's start off with the simple ones. There's going to be 3 of these simple ones. The first one is actually going to be in Richtofen's bedroom, and if you actually get on top of the bed, under his pillows, kind of hidden between them, is actually an artifact. Next, if you go to the PhD flopper room and you look at these tables in the middle from this angle, what you need to do is just interact with them, and after you do that, an artifact will fly out that you could then pick up. Now for this next one, you need to actually have 2 Semtex, and when you do that, you want to go all the way to the end of the service tunnel, and at the back you will see that there is this truck. And what you need to do is throw 2 Semtex in the back, but just don't throw them both fast. You have to throw the first one, let it explode, and then throw the second one, and when it explodes, it'll give you your artifact. Now this next artifact requires you to do a little side quest. It's not too bad, so don't worry about it. But one thing that's important is that you need a gun that has a thermal sight on it. And your best bet for doing this is before game, just create a class that has a thermal sight on it. Now once you have that, you want to progress to about round 13. I don't know if that's required, but it worked for me. But once you're on this round, just save a zombie, because what you're looking for are these red eyes just staring at you. And all you have to do is when you see these red eyes is simply aim at them with the gun that has a thermal sight until the person disappears. And you have to do this 5 times in total. Now from my experience, there's only 5 total spawns for these eyes, and also it takes turns going from the front to the back of the mansion and the front to the back. Now I'll show you all the spawns that I know for these eyes, but in case I'm missing one, just keep an eye on all the windows that aren't lit up. But on the front side, you'll actually find one all the way to the right, kind of over this little boy statue. Then there's going to be one at the middle, all the way at the top. And then the final one is going to be hidden in this corner, all the way at the top left of the mansion. Now in the back of the mansion, there's going to be one all the way in the back middle. And then there's going to be one all the way to the far right of it. And those are all the known spawns. Again, keep an eye on all dimly lit windows, but I'm pretty sure that's all the possible spawns. But from there, now you can go into the nursery, and you want to go into the room that has a trap here, and just behind this trap you'll find a mirror you can interact with, and when you do, you'll be rewarded with some loot and also an artifact. Now our next artifact is actually going to be the Raygun Mark II, and keep in mind you actually have to do the side Easter egg to craft it. You can't just get it out of the box. Now if you guys already know how to do this is great. But if you guys don't, what I'm actually going to recommend you guys do is check out the link on screen. I have a YouTube short that is really easy to understand and fast at explaining how to do it. So go ahead and watch that. But once you do, when you get the Raygun Mark II, you'll be rewarded with an artifact. Now for the final 4 artifacts, they require you to progress the main Easter egg and then even beat it for one of them. Now unfortunately, this video isn't a main Easter egg guide, so I'm not going to stuff that all into this. All you have to do is complete the main Easter egg and you'll have all of these. But regardless, I still will tell you at what point during the Easter egg you'll actually get these artifacts. The first one I'll tell you is actually doing the purple picture quest, and it's when you open up this safe, you'll find the artifact in it. The next one is going to be when you're doing the blue picture quest, when you brain rot a zombie at this bar and then he gives you a flask. That'll be your next artifact. Then the next one's going to be for the yellow portrait, when you interact with the books and they open a little secret room in here, and you'll pick up this item, which will be another artifact. And the final artifact will actually be after you beat the T-Rex boss fight. You don't actually have to pick anything up, you just complete the boss fight and it'll automatically give it to you. And with that, that is all the intel on the Shattered Veil. Hopefully this video was helpful to you, and if it was, like I said at the start of the video, I would very much appreciate if you guys dropped a like and subscribe for more content just like this. But that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.